Penny. Wow, look at you. You got over 10K.
We're live, you know.
Hello. Okay, are we going? Are we hitting
Yep,
live?
it's live.
Oh boy. Well, how's it going, Miss Penny?
Good, how are you?
I am doing well. I am doing
Oh
well.
no, oh no, I've messed up.
What
All
happened?
right, I don't know. All right, we're live. That's
Large and in
great.
charge. Okay, there we go. We've got the stream going.
Hi, guys. Uh, we haven't tried this. Hold on.
It's okay. People are still need to retweet your thing. There we go.
Trying to get us some sound effects, and it's not. Let's try this one.
Oh wow.
Should we
There
tell
you
the
go.
story about when I came to New York and we went out to the clubs?
Oh, well, I don't know which part.
Stop, Charlotte. When we went to that really expensive club. What's it called?
Oh, we were at no, were we at Tao? We were at Tao?
Tao. Yeah, that was my first time in a club, too.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I've never been in a club. There's a club here in Atlanta where like old people go to dance, but it's
Oh,
it's not like you're popping bottles. Like I told Ellis, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you go, you get the table, you're popping bottles." I'm like, you just get a drink at the bar. Here,
right.
there's not a lot of clubs here in Atlanta, but in New
Really?
York, there's
I would
clubs.
think that there's a downtown area and everything. I mean, downtown Atlanta doesn't have any bottles to be popped.
It might be that I'm just
You're out of the
old
loop.
and I don't know. My friends don't go to clubs except, my country club with the
Yeah,
pool.
yeah, that's
We
probably
do a
true.
lot of
Well,
pooling at the club.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's a different,
Demographic
a different demographic, now.
at the pool versus
Yeah.
25-year-olds popping bottles.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so we had at least, yesterday we got a nice trend day. Well, today wasn't very fun in the markets,
What
but
should we call trend days? Like I feel like TD isn't a good phrase, but like trendy, I don't know.
yeah,
There's
we
got
had
to
a nice,
be,
yeah, we'll have to coin something. Maybe a good,
yeah.
yeah, trendy.
We had a
Maybe some
trendy
trendies.
tendy.
But yeah, let's take a peek at the broader picture here, and
Today was not a trendy.
no, definitely not. Today
Mm-mm,
was no.
mm-mm.
So
Did you
um,
take any trades today?
I did take a few. I did, but I didn't trade. I traded SPY once,
Spy was
but
so yucky
yeah,
today.
no, it
Ugh.
was not a lot of fun.
But
But
I took some spy puts because I think we're primed for a gap down tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, well, we have some data coming out. We'll see what it, how it, what the
So
situation.
tired of the data. I mean,
Right.
just
Just
nobody
stop with the
cares.
data.
Just stop with the data. Just let the market slowly bleed like we all know it wants to, and stop with the
Right.
data. This is market manipulation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, shout out to Penguin since he said that he thought I was going to talk about it.
Oh, hold on. I want to talk to you about these new mushroom shot things I'm taking. Have I told you about them?
Oh no, go
Oh,
enlighten
it's
me.
just fabulous. So it's called Magic Mind, and it's got adaptogens and like
Wait,
neurotectonics.
is this where you were wow, that's a big word. Is
it's
this where you were tripping when you kind of overdosed on mushroom tea? Is this different or?
well, it's a different company, but same idea. and I'm absolutely loving it. And I'm now an affiliate. So if you want to look at the link in my profile and get a percentage off, I cannot recommend it more. I've been so on task. I've just been getting things done.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
been great. It's been great. I've been really focused during the market.
So we're serving up mushrooms and TrendSpider here.
And
Um,
I have a new non-alcoholic drink I've been sipping on. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen it. It's an aperitif, which I thought meant like an appetizer, like an appetize, a
yeah,
teaser. Yeah, Jimmy thinks it's a post-dinner drink. What do you think an aperitif is?
yeah. It is a drink you have after dinner, like a port
Well,
or a Montenegro, limoncello, something
ooh,
Fernet.
limoncello. Oh, wait, I know I'm not on task. Maybe the mushrooms aren't doing their job because I'm not on task, but I got to tell you a little story about limoncello. So there's an Italian restaurant here in Atlanta that I love very much. It's in the basement of an old folks home,
Mm.
and it's called La Grata, like the basement. So you like go into the old people's home, and then you get on the elevator and it takes you down to the basement, and then it's all very Italian down there, and I really love it because I studied in Italy.
Okay.
And so I always want to go there on my birthday. It's very, very fancy. It's not like a crap Italian restaurant. And I always get, my cocktail, and then maybe I want some wine with my pasta. We don't know. And then go what? Yeah. Um. So I have a cocktail, maybe I have a glass of wine, and then at the end I always want a shot of limoncello as my dessert. And my
Mm.
husband's always like, you don't want a whole shot. Like, that's going to put you over the edge. So I always say to the waiter, I don't want a whole shot of limoncello. So can I get one shot of limoncello in two shot glasses? We're going to split the shot. And they're like, yes, of course, like, and they're Italian. And then they always bring back two shots of limoncello and only charge me for one. And it's the best birthday present.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I definitely. Someone says fancy with his after dinner drinks. Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, you know, you got to have a nice
Oh,
limoncello or
wait.
Fernet
Here
type
we
stuff.
go. Aperitif before. I freaking told you. It's a before
Oh,
dinner
okay.
drink. It's an aperitif, like an appetize.
Well, okay. Well, I don't know. I always drink them after, but who knows?
Who knows? Well, anyway, this is fantastic. This stuff I'm trying. It's called Gia.
So I guess a port would be one that you have after.
A port is a
I'm gonna.
after dinner
Oh,
drink.
okay. I don't know. I don't know why anyone would want to drink Fernet. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into this. But anyway, back to the markets.
But you understand why people would want an aperitif.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like an amuse bouche.
Right, right. A little whisper of what the night is going to entail. Never know what's going to happen after that drink.
You never
You
know.
know,
It's
it
sort
could
of
be the
like
start.
today in the market. I kept thinking we're going to break out. We're going to break
Oh,
down.
okay. Yeah, no.
Nah. We even
Nah.
had a beautiful AMD bear flag. I was in it. Like, it was my only
Uh,
green trade today, and it was like, eh.
but all right, well, we'll have to take a look. But anyway, so we've had a couple of interesting days. We were watching when the market really started breaking down. We were watching this bigger trend line. Um, Here, we were also watching this trend line break here, which we recaptured. For me, I was looking to start to go short at the bottom gap here, which I was watching for, which I think I did mention a few times that those could be potential short opportunities. We also on the 4 hour, I was also watching after we had that really bullish day. You can't see it as well on here, but we had pretty much a head and shoulders. It's not as clear now that it's already broken out, but we had this head and shoulders pattern forming as well, right at the bottom of the gap. It was actually interesting. We had a fake break. I think was that, yeah, it was yesterday. I got sauced pretty hard on that bull flag in the morning yesterday. Um, it looked like we were about to break and invalidate the Head and Shoulders over 393, and then there was a fake break, and oof, we got a really nice move down that filled the gap. Um, well, it didn't fill it completely, but we were pretty close. And now, like you said, you took puts overnight. I mean, this just looks like a bear flag here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully, like I said, we do have some data coming out. I think it's PCE, but we'll see if that has any reaction. I think in May, someone was saying that there was a 2% green day in May following this report. Now, whether or not that directly had to do with the data or other factors, I'm not 100% sure. But it's just something to be aware of, and I think that comes out at 8:30. So we'll see what happens.
Oh no.
Yeah, comes out before. So,
So my
um,
puts could really get destroyed.
well, let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
So, but in any event, today, obviously, it was no secret. After a big day like we saw yesterday to the downside, I often like to make the analogy that stocks are just like people. Consider a marathon runner. After they make a giant move like this, you're typically going to have a day where price action is going to consolidate and trade in a range. And yeah, today it was just awful price action. You could have played level to level, but definitely could not do any type of, say, indicator based trading. It gets very tricky. I mostly stayed out of that, and there's nothing wrong with that too. If you see that SPY's just doing this, go to relative strength names. Don't trade the indexes, or if you do, you got to take quicker scalps. Um, you know, so yeah, today was no fun in that regard. But there were some other, good, movers. Microsoft was strong today. Apple was strong. Amazon was relatively strong. Semis were weak today. Like you said, you were in the AMD
I was
bear
in
flag.
AMD and
Nvidia was weak.
Microsoft puts, and so I
Oh,
lost
okay.
on my Microsoft puts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Nvidia wasn't having a nice day. Meta was okay. I think oil names were doing pretty decent today as well. Maybe that was yesterday. But yeah, so what I'm looking for tomorrow, hopefully we can break out of this range. I'm not really interested in trading SPY too much in this area. We'll see where we are in pre-market and after the data. But, unless we can, you know, we really need to clear over that, say, 382.50. Over that, maybe we can start to get some push to retest, maybe back up to 385 here, which could be a nice short opportunity. But we'll see. Um, we'll see what tomorrow brings us. So you just have to go in with no expectations and react. Okay. So, do you want to do your AMD trade or the Microsoft one, or what are you thinking?
Well, we can look at Microsoft. I can tell you my thoughts behind taking the mic. Oh, can we look on your screen?
Oh, hey, where's your screen? Okay. Do it open. Oh, so which one do you want to look at?
We can look at Microsoft. So I took puts at the open, and my thought behind that was that I thought AMD was so irrecoverably broken,
Mm,
and SPY was so weak, and QQQ was so weak that this had the greatest amount to fall because it was like a
right,
stronger name, but I thought that the
right.
market would drag it down. So I just took puts probably around 10 o'clock and just really, really lost on them. The thesis didn't work. I still think that makes a lot of sense in my head, but I did that to Apple one day last week too, thinking
hmm
that the market would pull them down. But the problem is that Microsoft and Apple sort of like held the market
Well, yeah,
up.
it's well, yeah. I mean, obviously you have to think of the markets and a broader perspective. However, you also have to keep in mind, how much, if it's a high beta name, or how much weight they have in the index, because it's not so much that SPY moves Microsoft. I mean, it can, but Microsoft, if it's stronger, like you said, it will hold up. It will hold it up. Or if it's weaker,
Yeah,
then it will. If like Microsoft and Apple are falling, but SPY is holding up, in that situation, you can say, okay, I could make a bet that SPY is going to go down.
yeah.
So yeah,
I
so
do know
that's
what
just the
you
reason.
mean. I just thought I
No, I understand
I
what
just
you were
didn't see
thinking
it
totally.
going that way. And I just
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
that it was a better risk to reward than AMD because I thought AMD was probably exhausted because it had made such a big move down, but I did not expect the market to recover at all today. So
yeah,
I just thought it'll be like a slow bleed day, but it wasn't a slow bleed day. It was a chop day.
yeah. They
And
tried to break it down, and it just couldn't really get going.
yeah, and I did all my tricks. Like the puts I had were really far away, and it just got a little. It was just too strong.
Yeah. So where did if you got in here
I
or you got
probably
in?
got in around 9:50, and then eventually
Right.
got out about 11 probably. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Well, you did get a move here, or did you hold through
I
this? I mean,
held.
this is just a
Yeah.
5 minute
No.
chart.
So I must have taken it at like 9:40 and then
Right.
got and then you know what I did is that place you were just talking about where it got a move down. I had two puts. I sold one of them
Hmm.
for like a tiny loss, but then I held it all the way back up. And then I thought at the top of there I was going to get a new high of day. And so I sold at the very top. I stopped out there. So when,
Right. Yeah. I mean, this was annoying anyway. Just bing bong. It was just
yeah.
trading.
And then it like
Um,
later did come down and then just couldn't, it just never broke down. And AMD was like trying so hard all day to break down, but it was just being held up, I guess, by the market. I mean, it was slowly bleeding like a little bit, but
yeah. Yeah. We were
it's a bad
looking at
trade.
we, we were we were looking at at AMD because it had like I was saying earlier, when you see the markets, how they were trading today, often I'll try to look at other names that either have relative strength or weakness that actually do have a trend, and try to play those and, exploit that.
Well, I
Um,
really thought there was that like very, very key level on AMD today under something 87 or something, and it kept going down and breaking that level. And I was just like, it's going to knife, and it like AMD knifing will pull Microsoft down. It was my thought.
hmm.
But it just couldn't get like a really good violent move
Right.
down. So,
All right. Well. So now we can say that Microsoft is weighted heavier in the market than Apple. Excuse me, than AMD. So AMD would never pull down
well,
Microsoft.
AMD pulled down SPY in the Qs yesterday. So I thought if AMD pulled down SPY in the Qs, then Microsoft
But
would fall
everything
too.
was falling. Yeah, everything was falling yesterday. No.
But don't you think that AMD was sort of like the ringleader? It got its bad news and just the momentum was so strong. It was the first one to break. I was
Right.
watching.
Well, yeah. Well, it could be. Yeah, because they got hacked or something, right? There was something with that yesterday.
You told me it was bad news. I don't know. I was already in when the news hit, thank God.
Right.
Which it was so
Yeah.
interesting because it like really confirmed that theory that news comes out right at like a crucial moment in the chart. Because I'd
Yeah.
been watching AMD all day the day before for it to break, and then I saw it break, took it, and then you were like, "Oh, it got news," and I was like, "Of course it
Yeah.
did."
Yeah. BG says traded AMD puts. They went nice. Hopefully. Oh, yeah. Nice work. Okay. Cool. Um, but yeah, it was a little tricky. Actually, we were talking about a potential short in the room. I think it was up here, but I wasn't. I can't. I'm not very good at trading AMD, and I wish I could trade it better. But we were talking about a short. Someone else was talking about it, but they didn't take it either because it was just, with the chop today, it was a little hard to pull the trigger, I would say. Um, you know, but you must have traded it. You were wait. This was I can't see the bottom because the riverside is blocking the day. You traded it yesterday though as well, right?
Yeah. Yep. It was an
Well, you want to
awesome trade.
since you went over your
to go into his room.
Microsoft, do you want to go over this nice one that you had on AMD?
Sure, sure. I talked about it yesterday on
Oh, you
with,
did? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
yeah. No, that's
Oh,
okay. That's okay. But I took it right at that initial break, at like 9:45. I took it really,
right.
really early and held it
Mm-hmm.
basically that whole move.
Oh, okay, great.
And
Yeah,
then
sorry I couldn't make it. Well, that's great.
That's
Yeah,
okay. Strat Soldier took it. Do you see where the two white up candles are?
yeah, these
Yeah,
two.
he took it there. No, the
Mm-hmm.
two in a row. So go
Yeah,
down a
here.
little further. Yeah, he took it
Yeah.
there and wrote it down to the bottom.
Oh, look, we have another co-host today.
Yeah. Quinn said that Oliver had a bad dream and now she's afraid to go upstairs.
Oh. Well, I don't know what to say for that.
Yeah, she can't hear you anyway, so it
Oh.
doesn't really matter.
Yes, I can.
Oh,
Oh.
you can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's those good speakers in your beats, that's
Yeah.
what.
Quinn, what do you think
But
about trading?
well, that was an astute analysis. I agree.
Totally. Totally.
Something.
All right. Let's go over. We got a
I
short.
like it.
I'll go over two trades we did yesterday.
I like it.
She likes
Um,
it.
oh, okay. Well, there you go. I was in this bull flag here yesterday. It looked like we were going to break out. But however, it tried to these wicks and it totally broke down. I had the level 390 that I was watching as well as 389. So I knew once they were broken, that the Bears were really going to be in control yesterday. Um, I did take a pretty nice hit on that one. I think it was about to be honest, 50% loss because I held it. I knew my levels, I knew my plan. And that's why obviously like I always talk about sizing, sometimes those hits happen. But obviously having the proper position size is going to help you, mitigate that. Um, but after I took that loss, I waited for a little bit. Obviously, the trend was really getting stronger at that point. So I was just waiting patiently. And the next thing I did, I waited. I also gave myself about, I mean, it must have been at least 30 minutes. After usually I take a loss like that, I like to give myself a little bit of time just to refresh and kind of, reset my psyche so that way I don't go in with another, I don't rush into another trade that's poorly planned. And I assess, all my parameters. So that's just something that, I personally do that I recommend because, after you take a losing trade, I think a lot of new traders, they just want to jump in, right away. And, obviously we want to fight that. But I had a suspicion, obviously, since we had such a strong day, I knew at some point we would get a nice counter trend bounce. And we did. And when I saw this coming up here into the 9 EMA, I took this short. Um, and we sold most of it on this. Well, we scaled out along the way, but taking exits on this first push down, and then we took another exit on this push, selling into the momentum. And then we took our final exit. I didn't catch the exact bottom, but we got out on this last candle. And then I ended up taking another short here when this came up and back tested the 20, and we got most of it out here. That one wasn't as good. The trade I took here, I got like 136%, but this one on the retest of the 20 was like 36. So the main thing was, that the most important lesson, at least that I want to, bring across from this trading day that I had yesterday, was the fact that I took this loss here. I readjusted. I waited for my opportunity. I didn't go chasing the move. And yeah, in this case, I would have been rewarded if I just said, oh, let me get in and chase. But obviously, that's not the type of mindset that we want to have, because all it takes is one time doing that and it doesn't go in your favor. And, you make a bad day a lot worse. But yeah, so it was just waiting and readjusting, refocusing. And I just want to stress that because I think that's really important, especially even if it's a chop day like today. You would just get in a lot of trouble if you were just trading back and forth and trying to chase it long or short, long and short. That can work for some people, but you obviously usually need to be really sitting at a screen, really focused. And, it's obviously a lot trickier environment for most traders to, perform in.
Totally.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's about it for this episode. I do want to thank TrendSpider so much for sponsoring this show. We really appreciate them. We love the product. It's so nice to have everything laid out and you can chart everything. We love the time frames. We love the customization. The best way to make sure that we can continue to bring this content to you guys is just really to click our link. We'd love if you sign up and you want to use our code. That's amazing. We would love you to click the link and check out TrendSpider and see if you can help it. Or if it can help you. And for those of you who were watching last night, we went over the strat candles and the different ways that you can use TrendSpider with the strat, which I think is so amazing. I'm a big fan. So thank you guys for all the support and thank you for watching. And Shark?
That's it. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. The one last thing, even though we are on this range, I do want to say I was noticing this inverted head and shoulders. Now, obviously, data can change that, but let's just keep an eye on this little inverted head and shoulders here. So maybe we'll get a nice trendy tomorrow. Let's pray for one.
Trendy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Have